So, you know, and I think most fans know this, but in case you don't, this show's entirely shot indoors. There's never been a scene that's been outside. I mean, does that make, is the show actually fun to shoot, or is it sort of like, oh, we're going crazy inside a green box sort of thing?
Well, it comes out the rain, and then they bring the rain in with them. That's my team.
You have all of these amazing sets. It's not all just green screen, thankfully. Us ladies do lots of drinking and scheming and eating strawberries in these amazingly decadent sets. In your house, that's right.
Yeah, the villa's a great set and lends itself to scheming, sex, violence, decapitation.
I loved having it to see you guys. I mean, it used to hit me every scene I saw you over there, but at least I wasn't getting beaten up in the arena every day, or in the train square. Yeah, you got chairs and things.
And it's great. And it's clean and pretty. Andy was like, oh, I love it when I get to come up here.
And I think because there was the exterior, the green screen, the exterior, the art department went to town indoors. The fabrics were fantastic, the glasses, the goblets, the food was researched. There was no food on set that the Romans didn't have. There was like one day I wanted an apple or something. They didn't have apples in those days, so it was, you know, there was loads of food around the set and
lots of Turkish delight.
Dates, lots of dates, which were good. The guys used to come up and fill their supplicate area with dates.
See, Andy, did you do any research for your character? Because obviously there's, you know, some things written.
Yeah, I mean, there's a kind of guideline about Spartacus, but I guess the most useful stuff was like the film, like the Kubrick film. You know, I guess there's enough framework to know where to go with him, but there's not too much that you can't interpret it your own way and give the writers the leeway to just explore it and the relationship. So I did what I could, but really it was just about following the fantastic writing and just trying to piece the moments together, because the rest kind of took care of itself, I think.
You referenced the fighting scenes earlier. I mean, they obviously look, you know, extremely intense when they play in the show. I mean, do you ever get onset injuries? Does that ever happen? Or?
I mean, you do. You take hits. They had this, you know, a lot of it was slow motion, so you could see that it was. If it wasn't me, it wasn't me. So I ended up doing a lot of the falls and a lot of the spinning in the air and the harness work. And it kind of hurts, but you want to do it again and again. You know, like it's, you see the playback on the monitor and it just looks fantastic, and it seems worth going that extra 1 for. So no serious injuries, just kind of a few bruises along the way.
The thing in the pit, didn't you really punch that guy in the face?
Yeah.
In the slow motion?
Yeah, he's like 6'8", kind of mixed martial artist, and he's like, you can hit me in the face. No, I can't. And so I had a few goes, and he goes, you know, that third one you did, that's like 20%. I'm like, that's all I'm not like, how would you? But yeah, we had a great team, you know, fantastic choreographers, and it just looks cool. It looks really cool, and I'm so glad we did it.
Obviously, not all the characters survived the first season, you know, and some fans were upset when different characters were being killed off. For, you know, present company excluded, is there...
Well, it was called Kill Them All.
Was there any character that you, like, regret at all? That you're like, well, you know, I almost wish we could have had that character in a few more episodes, or...
Well, yeah, John Hannon. That's why we got back to 6. Bodiatus really was the cruelest cut. Because we loved writing for him,
right.
and I am Bodiatus, so I mean, I am Bodiatus. So you know, once we're done with the prequel, I don't really have an outlet for that anymore. I mean, we loved having John on the show. John was just exactly the kind of villain that I had always dreamed about writing, where you love him, but you absolutely hate him by the end. And but he got a spectacular send-off.
So who's been like is there a typical Spartacus fan at the end of the day, or is it sort of a broad appeal, you think?
Now let's have a look. You guys are looking good. There's some sexy fans out here, I'm just saying. This one's pretty good over here. I think this is the typical fan. I think we found it.
So the first season was so wrapped up in Spartacus getting back to his wife. That was such the sort of the goal for the whole season. What's going to be his motivation now that he's on the run?
As history tells us, I mean, he's going to become more and more socially conscious, and he's going to start to see outside of his need for revenge and vengeance the bigger picture. And he ends up leading this slave rebellion that almost brings down the Republic. So there'll always be personal stories for him, but very slowly he's going to start to see the bigger picture and do something about it.
But he's still going to kill a lot of people, right?
Quite a few.
But see, someone also brought up in the green room that you were talking about profanity, that there's actually an iPod app that's the Spartacus.
I've heard of this.
Where you can put in any word and it will spit out a Spartacus-themed profanity.
Yes, I heard that was whipped up by our fans in England.
The network that put it in Bravo, I'm not even sure if it kind of went beyond the green room where I was sitting, but she came up with this app type thing which was usually called Spartacus, and you put in your word of choice, and Stephen denied it.
Do I get a royalty on that? Are my agents here? That kind of stuff we see on the internet, it's great. We were thrilled when we saw that. We were thrilled when the iPhone game came out, and a couple of weeks ago I had a merchandising meeting at Stars, and over the next year and a half, you're going to see some great stuff being rolled out that we're very excited about.
Let's open up the microphones to the fans, right? Go ahead.
Hi, this one's for Andy. My youngest sister got me into it, and she can't be here, but she loves you. And out of all the antagonists you as Spartacus have to deal with, Batiatus, Lucretia, which one just really grinds your gears? Like when you get into character, which one you just hate?
Except for episode 9. Talking about grinding gears. Sorry. I mean, they're all such great characters, aren't they? I mean, you just love to hate them. I think that what's great about this show is that you know they're the baddies, but you kind of root for them as well. And kudos to those guys for making that happen. So